Hi, my name is Bob Bruce. I live in Lawrence, Kansas, and this is our mushroom farm, 7 miles southeast, called Wakarusa Valley Farm. And we hustle salad mix, vegetables, mushrooms, fruit, anything we can get growing. But this winter, we're spending our time indoors, and we're using Kansas leftover sawdust to create a gourmet edible mushroom. I started working out here about 5 years ago, and I had no idea I'd be so interested in growing mushrooms. It turns out they are incredible organisms that are able to break down all sorts of materials and produce something edible. They're also great for us, and we're finding more and more information about their benefits. So I've sort of come into mushroom growing through the back door while working at another place, but the reason I'm still here is because they are a great resource that you can use. You can take old stuff that you're not using or reuse resources that other farmers have thrown out, and you can create something that's of great value. Although it takes a lot of inputs and a lot of work, the payoff is pretty exciting. And since we have so much fun doing it, it allows us to work through the wintertime when there's very little to do and it's too cold outside. We can just strap on our flip-flops and put on some rubber gloves, and we can work all winter long providing local produce to the community. So that's why I'm here. Here we go. Pressure to produce has been like the most important thing. So if you just have money and you can just spend money and have hobbies and grow things, that's really fun. But when you actually have to show up every week with produce and there's 300 people counting on you to be there, you have lots of incentives. So staying busy and productive is sort of this loop. Once you start getting to a level, you don't want to back off. You just want to keep being there every time and being available and having the produce and kicking it out. So production level, it teaches you how to do everything a lot faster. You're just more engaged in the process when you have to produce. You just, you can't, when things don't happen, and when they don't happen, you have to live with that. So you get better and you keep learning. So the production level, I think, allows us to fully dive into our study and get a full idea of what it is we're working with, because we're expected to come up with something. And that's the unfortunate thing in our country, is that we're moving away from production. What do we produce, and why is it valuable? Well, as we start to realize we need to start producing our own things and having them available, we'll all start to feel that pressure. So I really think production scale is the best way to learn the fastest and to feel the satisfaction of actually making something. I graduated from the University of Kansas about 5 years ago, and during my last semester I was getting interested in local food. I had an interest in cooking. I thought maybe culinary school would be my next step, or there would be some other interest related to food. But for me, farming became so easy to choose because there were so few people doing it. It was this idea of, where does our local food source come from, and how can we be a part of that? Well, when it's virtually non-existent, it's really easy to just call somebody up. So I actually picked up a bag of produce in the grocery store and called the guy on the bag while I was still there and just started talking to him. So it really wasn't too much to get into it, because there was 1 or 2 people, and there's a farmer's market, and you can get hooked up in this town, but there's really a shortage. There's very few young people. A lot of older people are kind of moving on, and so the gear towards moving into farming as a student of biology and anthropology was more of a lifestyle, finding out how can we provide for ourselves and the community and still have an economic ability, a way to participate in the community and the economic system, and not spend the whole day indoors working on our computers, because we all know exercise is so important. I think that for the future to be secure, we're going to need a lot more food producers around to help see everyone's dinner table nice and full.